My name is John and I am a nobody. English teachers were in much demand in Berlin when I moved there. I'd been living in Holland, which is a famous country known for Rembrandt, Vermeer, the girl with the golden earring. No, sorry, that's a band, Golden Earring. The girl with the pearl earring. So it was a bit of a culture shock to move to Berlin. In a sense, I decided to teach English because I knew somebody who was sort of a half a friend, and he used to play in a band too. He was a singer, but he did more sort of avant-garde stuff. And one of the songs he did was called Salman Rushdie is a Fish, which I've never forgotten. I don't know why. It wasn't a hit. But I thought, well, if he can do it, if he can teach English, then I can too. Because as the German comic comedian once said, was andere nicht können, kann ich auch. What other people are incapable of, I am as well. So I thought, okay, I'll go for it. So I've been doing other stuff and I decided to become an English teacher. My first lesson was in a tiny school and the class was small. It was sort of made up of older ladies. They seemed very old to me, but I was young at the time. And I'd chosen something from a magazine, which was the time that President Kennedy had spent in Berlin, the famous Ich bin ein Berliner speech. And I took that in, and the first thing I said was, okay, we're going to do this and that. Somehow we started talking about the war. I don't know why. And I said, well, obviously none of you were Nazis at the time. And the lady put her hand up. She said, yeah, we were all Nazis. I was very shocked at this. She even went on to mention visiting her husband in an American prisoner of war camp, which was like mind-blowing. To me, even then, it seemed like it was a long time ago. It wasn't a long time ago, but it seemed like it was. And so I did that class. One of them, of the people there, was actually an English teacher, but I only found out later they were all German. Anyway, I joined this big company because, as I said, English teachers were in much demand at the time. West German companies had gone to the east, to the DDR, bought up a lot of companies for, pennies, and sacked everybody. And these people had to go on to what was called a Maßnahme, which was like a course. They had to take a course to learn how to become bank employees or whatever. And one of the things they had to learn was English. So I was very nervous because I knew that classes in the east of Berlin were very big, because there were lots of people who had been made unemployed suddenly. First you take away their passport and tell them, well, the country that you grew up in does not exist anymore. It's everything that you've learned was wrong, and now we want you to learn English. I was nervous, and the class was in Brandenburg, which is outside of Berlin, which meant I had to stay in a hotel because I couldn't get to the class on time. It's like 8 in the morning. So I'd go on the train down and get a bus to where the class was. And it was weird just seeing like Russian vehicles passing the bus, because it was still part of East. The whole East was still part of the Russian Confederation or whatever, Soviet Union. So it was weird seeing Russian military vehicles passing, and the street names, with a very Russian influence, communist influence to them. I went down to the class really feeling like I was going to the gallows. I was very nervous, and I walked into this prefabricated school building and walked into the class, wrote my name on the board. There were loads of people in that room. And I thought, well, honesty is the best policy. So I told them, I'm really nervous. I've taught English before, but only, tiny classes. And we got on like a house on fire after that. Everything was fine. I think they appreciated my honesty. They were nice people. That has to be said. They were really nice. I like the, what they still called East Germans then. They had this thing called solidarity, which we used to have in the West, but it's gone. But we used to have this thing called solidarity, and so they're very tight-knit, the people, and very friendly and open, and it was quite something. It was like stepping back into the past, which in many respects this whole video thing is about, stepping back into the past, learning from other people, trying to put yourself in their shoes. I never thought I'd meet women who'd been Nazis. I never thought that would happen to me, but it did. And I wanted to share that with you, and also the fact that the DDR was a strange place to be and to walk back into. And a lot of people have forgotten it, but they shouldn't forget, maybe, because there were good bits to it too. Okay, well, take care of yourself and those you love. And as always, Tschüssikowski, and I hope to see you in the next one. All right, bye for now. Take care.